Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how you can use Claude to help you better understand your content's performance on Twitter. And this video is sort of an appetizer to a series that I plan to release over the coming weeks, where we're going to talk about not only just how to use AI for our content repurposing, our generation, all that good stuff. No, this next couple of videos is going to be more focused on how we can actually start to use AI to both measure our content's performance and how we can measure AI's impact on our content processes. So, is it actually saving us time? Are we putting out more volume? Is the content quality degrading to an extent where it's not worth it? Stuff like that. So, again, this is just an appetizer video. So, without further ado, let's jump into the process. All right, guys, let's get into it. So, first, we are going to go to Twitter Analytics. Nobody judge, I know, I've been slacking, looks like, but you're just going to hit this little export data button up here and export by tweet. You can choose the date range that you want. I'm just doing the last 28 days because this is kind of like a nice range, and I wanted to see like what the last 28 days has looked like because I've been sort of experimenting a bit more over the past month. So now that we have that, I have set up the 3 different threads that I used to analyze this CSV file. And so I'm going to go over each of these prompts that I ran through and what workflow I did. So at a high level, first we're feeding it the file and it's going to give us an analysis. Then we're going to give that analysis back to Claude and we're going to get like content ideas and like a performance checklist. And then finally, I'm going to give all of that back to Claude and to help it like rewrite a newsletter into tweets and medium form posts for Twitter. So how did I get these prompts? Well, Anthropic has an experimental thing that they're calling a Meta-Prompt, and they have a collab notebook where you can do this yourself. So I'm going to show that to you right now. So here we go. This is the collab notebook. I will put this in the description below as well if you want to try it out. And the whole point of this is to essentially solve what they call like the blank page problem for prompt engineering. So this is going to take in a prompt that you give and refine it to be better suited for the model to understand. So once you've run all of these cells, you're going to go all the way down and you're going to write your task. So this was the last task that I had written. And then you will call the model and it will return a beautiful prompt for you. And so I like doing this now, especially if it's, a prompt that I plan to use frequently. I'd like to make sure that it's actually better than the normal do this for me right now, kind of like slapdash prompt that we are all guilty of, I'm sure. And that's really what I did for each and every single one of the prompts that you saw in each of those threads. So now that we know how I got the prompts, let's go back to the process. So I wanted it to analyze my tweets by looking at the text content, understanding it, and then kind of picking out key concepts and themes, and then finding correlations between the high engagement tweets and its contents and the tone, the voice, the time of day, and the same thing for low performance tweets. And so then I just put it in and it popped out this analysis. So it's saying, like based on the analysis, here's like the high engagement tweets tend to be, broader, more relatable topics. There's some like stuff for AI for creators, but my threads that are on very niche subjects, maybe it's like a set of tools or something. I can remember I've done that a couple times. Those tend to not perform as well. So this is kind of telling me maybe should I try not posting threads? Is it just not worth my time? Or do I want to make my threads broader and not as niche as some of them are? And then again, for the time analysis, so weekends are not really getting a lot of engagement, so maybe I don't publish a lot of posts on the weekends. And now we're going to the part 2 of this prompt sequence, and what I did is I took the analysis that Claude gave us from the first step. I have another prompt that I had made with the Meta-Prompt flow that I showed earlier as well, and then I pasted in the analysis where I referenced it in the step 2 prompt. So saying like, here's the analysis of a person's tweet performance, and then I say, like read through it, find the insights, brainstorm some specific content ideas, and also create a kind of like a checklist for the poster. So every time they make a tweet, they can kind of run through this list and compare to their previously high engaged with tweets and see if it's kind of going to perform similar or not. And so the reason I also suggested content ideas is because, like I mentioned briefly earlier, we are repurposing a newsletter in this workflow. And so I thought that perhaps if Claude were to suggest content ideas, that would perform well. And then we put all of this, because we're going to put all of this output in the final step prompt, I figured it might, help the final step a bit more. So let's kind of take a look at what we have. So we have content ideas, thread on how to use AI tools like ChatGPT, streamline your content creation, tweets sharing your journey from specialist to generalist, share photos and insights from recent in-person community meetups in Austin, break down your content flywheel system. All right. Performance checklist. Does this tweet cover a broad, relatable topic that will resonate with a wide audience? Does it pose thought-provoking questions, etc., etc.? And so now I'm taking this, and I'm also taking the analysis that we got, and I made another prompt with the Meta-Prompt workflow, and I pasted in both the analysis and the content ideas and suggestions and performance checklist for the repurposing prompt. And so that's all up above, and then I say, like, your task is to do the following: read through and understand the contents of the newsletter, extract the key themes, etc., decide if these concepts would work well, and then write 5 tweets based on chosen concepts. Write them in a way that matches the profile of high-performing tweets according to the analysis. Don't use emojis or hashtags. Okay, cool. And I also, you'll notice I did not paste the newsletter in the first prompt, which you probably can, if you're doing this programmatically, but in the chat interface, the newsletter can sometimes be too long, and so it gets to be this file thing instead. And I don't know if it still is in that same part of the text or if it's different. Somebody could tell me, please do. But anyways, posted this right here. And so we have the chosen concepts. So listening to your intuition, like aligning your life actions, actively seeking opportunities to test. And then we have the tweets. And you can see they're not necessarily formatted the best right now in this interface, but they at least are, distinct from one another. So you could pick these out and, don't complain too much. All right. Like, this is saving us a ton of time already if these are good. So let's see. Intuition is superpower that many people don't use enough. It's a raw, unfiltered form of intelligence that can guide you towards right actions, yada yada. In a world where AI is leveling the playing field, your unique iterations. So I posted it twice because I wanted to kind of see other tweets, and I just kind of wanted to say, like, yeah, look at the newsletter again, do it again. So let's see. As an AI entrepreneur, I've learned that strong intuition is essential in a world where technology is constantly leveling the playing field. Follow your unique hunches will help you create products that truly resonate. It may feel risky, but the rewards are worth it. All right, so I liked those. And now I also have noticed that, and this is something that I took from a previous time that I analyzed my tweets and why I started experimenting, but I started posting more medium form posts on Twitter, like the ones that are super long, but it's all in one post. And so the problem is you can't really schedule those through any of the scheduling APIs because the text is too long. But I still wanted to test it out, and I will say that I believe 2 of the medium form posts that I've posted in the past month are probably some of my highest performing ones. And so, there's an example of like how I actually started to analyze the content with with Claude, and then I was able to understand what kind of posts might do better. So I asked him for a medium form post, and I'm not going to read all this, but I do actually plan on posting this because I found it to be pretty good for my purposes. And that's the video, guys. So if you enjoyed it, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the like button, drop a comment if you have questions, and I will be leaving the free resource guide for this workflow in the description below. You can also check out my free school community where we talk about automating content with AI, generating content with AI, repurposing content with AI, all the good stuff. And yeah, till next time, much love and peace, y'all.